Hello, everyone. My name is Mike Moran. I'm the author of the Believers superhero novel trilogy. We are reading in book one, chapter 27 today. And I'll share my screen so you can see what's going on. All right, here we are. Chapter 27, Emergence of Evil. Jerry, pick up the phone, please, Mrs. Miller begged. Jerry? Jerry, thank goodness. I was so worried about you. You and Cynthia didn't come back to the hotel room last night. Your father said not to worry, but when we woke up this morning, you were still gone. Sorry, Mom. Last night was a bit crazy, Jerry replied. What happened, dear? Cynthia and I ate Italian food and it made her feel sick afterward. We didn't want to wake you guys up or bother you, and she also needed medicine. So I teleported her back home and took care of her. Once she felt better, I drove her home so she could sleep in her own bed. I'm sorry to hear that, Mrs. Miller apologized, but next time wake us up and we'll gladly help. Anyway, I'm just happy you're both safe. Your father and I will be back home tomorrow around noon. Call us if you need anything. Thanks, Mom. Will do. I gotta go. Okay, dear. See you tomorrow. Love you. Love you too, Mom. Bye. Jerry put away his cell phone and went through his usual morning routine. Jerry was home alone because his parents were still on vacation, and he took Cynthia home late last night. However, she was never sick. They actually had a wonderful night together in the privacy of Jerry's home. He thought about his mother and felt slightly guilty about lying to her, but he also understood the occasional need for privacy. Jerry felt he deserved a break from everything and everyone, except Cynthia, of course. She made him feel confident and empowered, as if he could do no wrong. She also brought him valuable peace of mind. In order to make up for lying to his mother, Jerry decided to spend the whole day cleaning and working around the house. He mopped floors, cleaned the bathrooms, dusted and vacuumed, washed and dried all the laundry, watered the plants, cleaned the patio and pool, washed the cars and boat, and patched up damage around the house and fence. Normally, all of that would have been impossible to do in one day, but Jerry used his powers to complete the job. Many of the tasks required water, so he poured detergent into a bucket, added water, and used his powers to lift and float the water around the house, cleaning and absorbing all the dirt and grime. The water appeared to be alive as it swirled and fizzed while sucking up filth. Jerry used the same trick to clean the cars, boat, patio, and fence. Everything else he did the old-fashioned way, using everyday tools such as nails, a hammer, towels, paint, and a paintbrush. He even called Vaughn for advice on how to complete certain tasks correctly. By nightfall, he felt exhausted and satisfied with his work. He shared pictures of his accomplishments on social media and talked with Cynthia and his close friends. Afterward, he showered, watched TV, ate a microwave dinner, brushed his teeth, and went to sleep. Late the next morning, Jerry woke up feeling well rested and relaxed. He thought about everything he had done the past year and felt good about himself. He knew there were mistakes and things that could have gone better, but he also felt he had learned many things and improved himself greatly over time. Friends, family, the police, and his experiences all helped him become a better person. Overall, Jerry felt confident and ready for the future. His moment of reflection abruptly ended when he received a phone call from Captain Grimes. Jerry, this is Captain Grimes. We need you at the hospital ASAP. What happened? Jerry asked. It's an incident involving Kevin Baker. I'll explain more when you get here, Captain Grimes answered. Roger that. See you in a second. Jerry put away his cell phone, put on his police uniform, and teleported directly into Kevin Baker's hospital room. Jerry saw a few police officers conducting an investigation. They were all trying to figure out exactly what had happened in the room. Everything in it was destroyed, as if a bomb had gone off. The hospital bed looked like a burnt hunk of junk, and everything else in the room had scorch marks. There was also a giant hole in the cement wall leading outside. Jerry walked over to the edge and realized he could see most of the city. He felt a sudden chill a cold chill blow through his body. It was as if an immense evil had been released into the world. Jerry shook off the feeling quickly and began asking questions. Police officers told Jerry that a female nurse had sustained severe injuries during the incident, and Captain Grimes was with her in another hospital room. Jerry walked into the other hospital room and could not believe his eyes. Captain Grimes was sitting next to the nurse. She was covered in bandages from head to toe. Jerry could not understand how she was still alive. Captain, what happened to her? Jerry asked. She was in the room when a bomb exploded. She has third-degree burns all over her body, but none of it makes sense. We didn't find Kevin's body or evidence of a bomb, which is why I called you. Captain Grimes looked terribly concerned about everything, even a bit on edge. Jerry chose his next words carefully. Why do I get the feeling you're not telling me something? Because I have a feeling I know exactly what happened here, Captain Grimes said with a pause, and I absolutely can't believe it. What do you mean? Please tell me, and I'll do whatever I can to help. Captain Grimes looked at Jerry warily and said, evidence of the explosion doesn't show anything about a bomb or any kind of technology, which means there are only two explanations. Either you were responsible for this entire incident, or someone else has superpowers. Jerry immediately became frightened and anxious, staring at Captain Grimes and waiting for him to say something else. Captain Grimes kept silent, and Jerry nervously asked, you don't think I did this, do you? Of course I don't. I trained you personally, and you would never do anything like this. Whoever did this was sloppy, twisted, and irrational. I feel especially bad for the nurse. Can you do anything to help her? Captain Grimes asked and pointed to the nurse. I know you healed your father during the attack at your house. My son also told me that he saw you heal your own wounds and Blake's as well. We need to speak with her right now, find out the truth, and clear your name. Jerry felt dreadfully sorry for her, as if it really was his fault. Just the thought of his powers causing so much pain for an innocent person made him cringe. He felt morally obligated to right this terrible wrong. Captain Grimes locked the door and closed the curtains. Jerry placed his hands on her bandaged body and began concentrating. His hands started glowing bright blue, and soon the nurse's body was glowing as well. After a few moments, the bandages vanished, and the nurse was completely naked. Jerry panicked and turned around immediately. Captain Grimes swiftly pulled the bed blankets over her body right before she woke up. The nurse, fully healed and lying awake in bed, looked at both Jerry and Captain Grimes with suspicion. She was a middle-aged woman with the wisdom to understand that everything comes with a price. She was not ready to trust them yet, but she knew they were responsible for her miraculous recovery. She sternly said, who are you, and why am I naked? Jerry stuttered and said, I'm Jerry Miller, a cop, and I healed you with my powers. Powers? Are you kidding me? What is this, a superhero movie? And who's the guy next to you, your sidekick? Captain Grimes understood that the nurse had good reason to be skeptical, so he calmly explained, this is not a movie, man. It's all very real, and I'm a police captain. The nurse observed him from head to toe, trying to detect any hesitation or signs of falsehood, but she found nothing and concluded he was telling the truth. Finally, she smiled faintly and said, thank you for fixing me up. I thought I was a goner for sure. By the way, my name is Anne Smith. Jerry let out a sigh of relief, and Captain Grimes smiled back. Then he asked, can you tell us exactly what happened to Kevin Baker's room? Anne took a deep breath, as if not wanting to recall the incident, and spoke in an annoyed manner. It all started when the doctor received a phone call about Kevin Baker's father, who was arrested for the college shooting. He committed suicide. The doctor was busy all day with surgeries and asked me to break the news to Kevin. I certainly didn't want to do it, but I was the most experienced nurse on duty. So I agreed and walked into Kevin's room. He was already angry because he didn't want any visitors. But when I told him his father was dead, he went into shock. His body started shaking violently, and then he let out the most horrible scream I've ever heard. After that, boom. I don't remember much else, other than lots of pain I'd sure love to forget. Captain Grimes looked at her with remorse and said, I'm sorry we weren't there to stop whatever happened in that room. But can you tell us what caused the explosion? Sure, Anne replied, but you may not believe me. When the kid screamed, fire burst out of him. I saw it happen in slow motion, like a ball of fire getting bigger and bigger. I didn't have time to protect myself, but I saw his eyes glowing and fire expanding from his body in all directions. It felt like a bomb exploding right in my face. I can't believe I survived that. I really do owe you to my life. Thank you again. Captain Grimes smiled and took out his wallet. He removed a business card and handed it to her. It had his full name, phone number, and official job title. He said, if you ever need anything else, call me immediately and I'll help you. And I'll help you out. The nurse kindly nodded, and Jerry quickly stepped out of the room. He held his hand. He held his hand over his mouth in disbelief. Hurrying back to Kevin's room, Jerry closed his eyes to concentrate. Within seconds, he could see and feel Kevin's leftover energy. It was all true. Kevin now had powers just like Jerry. He could not understand how or why it had happened, but he knew it would be a major problem. His powers are dangerous and difficult to control, which is why Jerry quit college and trained to be a cop. Captain Grimes followed Jerry into Kevin's room shortly afterward and found him meditating. Why'd you run out like that, Jerry? You figured something out? He asked. Yes, I can see Kevin's energy, and I can track him down. Do you know where he is? Yes, Jerry answered. And we can teleport to him right now. Are you coming with me, Captain? Of course. All right, then put your hand on my shoulder and hold on tight. Captain Grimes grabbed Jerry's shoulder, and they both instantly disappeared. Seconds later, they reappeared on the sidewalk of a busy city street in Miami Beach. Countless people were walking around, carrying on their daily routines. Surfers were drinking smoothies and talking about the latest waves. Locals were exercising and walking their dogs. A big, strong jock wearing a blue and yellow leotard was holding a cute pink poodle in his muscular arms. Business people were speed walking and talking on their cell phones. Captain Grimes spotted Kevin across the street, and Jerry felt relieved that he might have a chance to help him. Kevin seemed lost and confused as he stumbled along the sidewalk. Most people avoided him until he bumped into a huge gym jock wearing a black tank top and small gym shorts that barely covered his body and showed off his overdeveloped muscles. Watch where you're going, man, the gym jock called out. But Kevin did not move nor respond. Feeling disrespected, he shoved Kevin backward. Big mistake. Kevin returned the favor in spades, swinging his right arm and launching the gym jock through a surf shop window. Crash! Glass shattered in every direction, and people ran away in fear. Kevin looked around with panicked eyes, ready to attack anyone else who touched him. Jerry yelled out, Kevin! Kevin turned around and asked, What did you do to me, Jerry? I don't know what you're talking about, Jerry exclaimed. These powers came from you. I could feel it. That's not possible. You're wrong, Kevin yelled back and blasted a fireball at Jerry. He pushed Captain Grimes out of the way and created a blue force field around himself. The fireball exploded, causing Jerry to fly backward into a car. Kevin turned around and leaped miles into the air. Captain Grimes swiftly drew his gun and fired multiple shots at Kevin, but he was long gone. Captain Grimes put his gun away and ran over to help Jerry. He was perfectly fine, thanks to his force field, but he knew the situation with Kevin would only get worse if ignored. Captain Grimes took out his cell phone and was about to call for backup when Jerry interrupted him and said, "Don't do it, Captain. Let me handle it." "No way, Jerry. Kevin is out of control. He almost killed the nurse, the gym jock, and us. We gotta take him out or arrest him at the very least." "Please, sir, let me try first. Kevin's too dangerous," Captain Grimes countered. "Wasn't he like me when I first started out? A guy with uncontrollable powers who accidentally blew a gunman's hand off?" Jerry asked with remorse. "Let me talk to him, and maybe I can help. Maybe I can get him to come in quietly." "I don't know about this, Jerry. You saw how dangerous and unstable he was. I don't want you to get hurt by trying to help him." "Captain, I have to try. I'm the one responsible for giving him powers. I don't know how I did it, but it happened. I should be the one to deal with it. Plus, I don't want you or anybody else to get hurt." Captain Grimes seemed stressed out and unsure about it, but he gave in and said, "Fine, Jerry. Try your best to handle Kevin on your own. But if things start to go south, call me. I'll bring backup." "Thank you, sir," Jerry replied gratefully. Jerry closed his eyes, took a moment to home in on Kevin's energy. He was somewhere in the ocean, on an island. Jerry gave Captain Grimes an estimation of Kevin's location and then teleported away. That's it. Chapter 27 is over. As promised, this chapter had some action, and all the next chapters have a lot of action. So I hope you all enjoyed it, and hopefully see you all next time for the next video. Thank you so much.